So, thanks for joining us, Michael. Can you give me an idea on how you built up your level of expertise?
Sure. So in my specific case, so I decided to focus on security, so I went really deep into my own topic, which I found extremely rewarding. So I guess in principle you can also do it the other way around, you can go breadth first, so to speak, you do everything. I found it more rewarding going really deep into one specific topic, and I found it worked really, really well for me. And the main thing I found out is that, so to speak, the benefit of doing something for a long time, really deep, is over time you identify the repeating patterns. Like if you do it for 10 years, then you see after 2 or 3 years the same things happening again and again. People call it cloud computing or utility computing or virtualization or so, but it's always the same security topics show up again and again. So this is pretty interesting and pretty helpful.
Yeah, so history repeats itself.
History repeats itself.
So, who do you go to in your network? Who do you go to for help, whether they're inside or outside of IBM?
Actually, I go to something like within IBM about 100 people or so. So I'm a network guy. I go to architecture boards. I'm actually running the security architecture board, which is my main network, so to speak. And I also found the interesting thing with IBM is if you have a problem, for sure you find someone. And the nice thing is if you have connections to the right communities, if you're connected to the Academy of Technology, where I'm a member of, or to other communities, you always find someone who can help you. But of course I also network outside IBM with other companies, with academia and so on.
And do you use social media to connect with people, do like the LinkedIn or these type of technologies?
Actually, I'm pretty old-fashioned in this respect. So I read a couple of newsletters, a couple of things like this. I don't have my own blog or anything like this, so I'm more consuming on this side.
I hear that you're a paper addict.
I'm a paper addict. I mean, my main source of information is whenever I see something or anything ends up on my desk, I typically read it. So I try to stay up to date on everything and reading.
And how do you share your knowledge with others? Do you speak at many conferences or publish many papers?
I speak at conferences, I publish papers from time to time. Not as much as I would like to do, but so to speak, like I'm a paper addict. I'm also really addicted to actually producing papers, and what I've found is that if you want to explain something and go really deep, so to speak, you should go beyond the slideware level. So writing down things and really thinking about your text and writing something that can be helpful to your colleagues or to people outside, the real script, that's the most helpful thing, to go from the buzzword level to the level of real technical details.
Yeah, it says here that you're very anti-buzzwords. Is that part of your way of filtering through this kind of nonsense?
I'm anti-buzzword.
Yeah.
I mean, buzzwords can be helpful to get quickly through something you want to really get through, but otherwise avoiding buzzwords and trying to understand the real things and the patterns I mentioned initially is actually a good thing.
And my own question, so where do you see technology from a security perspective heading? I know the team here is working on a lot of technology to protect your identity, for example. Do you see this as being kind of the next wave of where security is going, where we're hiding ourselves more, or are we giving out only snippets of our information?
It depends on the area. Like in privacy, I'm really convinced that understanding privacy, what is it that people really want, is the most important thing. If you understand what people really want, like what the heck is privacy in Facebook, if we would know what it is, then actually we could implement it. And then the work done here in Zurich is a big part of it, that you can really minimize the information that you give away. Otherwise, I would say it's more things like we know a lot about technology, but we are at a state where we don't really know how to make it really happen. Like we know in principle how it should work, but now we have to go to what